Greetings, 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 grand rising lineage. What's going on? This is your brother Chief Kalinago. I'm out here in Manhattan, downtown, Lower Manhattan, Bowling Green to be exact. And we're going to get into a little bit of factual history, okay? Because once again, his story was a big lie. You know what I mean? And we're going to go a little deeper and dive into a couple of things. So if you can't swim, do me a favor, please put your oxygen tank on, because your brother Chief Kalinago is going to expose some truth. All right. Now, once again, this is for educational purposes. I want you to think I'm lying. Okay. Everything I tell you is a lie, because I don't want you to believe me, because in the word believe, there's the word lie. I deal with the knowing, I deal with facts. Okay. And once again, cognitive dissonance may kick in because of your emotional tie to this slavery from Africa lie. You feel me? But it still doesn't negate the fact that I'm correct with the information that I'm bringing you. So your feelings don't matter, your emotions don't matter. What matters is the truth. Okay, so let us get into this, and I'm going to expose that to you and tell you about the only and factual slave trade that ever took place in all of the Americas. We're going to dive a little deeper into that today. So let's get into it. Boom. All right. I'm down by like I said, Bowling Green, the ferry. All right, close to the Staten Island Statue of Liberty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So we're going to step into the Castle Clinton National Museum. Okay, let us dive into this right now. Boom, let us step in. So we're going to read a little bit about the castle. Here we go. It says Castle Clinton National Monument. Ceded to New York City in 1823, Castle Clinton was renamed Castle Garden in 1824 until 1855. It served as a public center and theater where public figures, including Lafayette, Kossuth, and artists such as Jenny Lind, were presented from 1855 to 1890. The structure was the nation's principal immigrant depot, with over 7 million immigrants entering its portals, the gateway to the new world. Okay, but they tell you it's immigrants. No, but it's not immigrants. They are actually slaves. All right, code word immigrant, but they are slaves, and I'm going to prove that to you. All right, now the gateway to what? The new world. All right, between 1896 and 1941, the old structure served as the New York City Aquarium. It was created a national monument in 1950. All right. So we're going to get into that, like I said, and it wasn't 7 million. It was 12.5 million that came. All right. We're about to get into this. I keep telling y'all, don't play with me. Okay. Let us dive into this. We are going deep sea diving right now. Okay. Let's see who the real slaves are. Let us enter. Museum, open. All right, Castle Clinton National Museum, United States Department of Interior, National Park Services, or Service rather. All right, so here we go. From 1812. Those were the first slaves that came, immigrants. And what's Slav? The Slavic people were the only slaves that came into the Americas, and slavery actually started in 1812. In 1812. Okay? Now, here we go. 1811, right here. Castle Clinton was built as a fort in 1811 to defend New York against possible British attack. Originally called the Southwest Battery, in 1815, the fort was named Castle Clinton in honor of DeWitt Clinton, a former mayor of New York City, who later became governor of New York State. He's also related to the Clintons. Okay, as you could see, these bloodlines go way back. All right, so we have in 1824, the city list Castle Clinton renamed Castle Garden as a place of public entertainment, etc., etc. We already read that all there, right? Then it says the area around Castle Clinton became very fashionable. The old was an ideal setting for band concerts and fireworks. Following the addition of a roof in 1844, Castle Garden became the largest indoor concert hall in the city and featured serious opera and theater. The elegant interior of the Castle Garden featured a bubbling water fountain in the central rotunda. Singer, whatever. Okay. Let me see. Reconstruction in 1850, 1851. So basically, what they're doing is they are literally giving you the foundation of all of this, right? So it says, as a number of increased in the mid-19th century, the need for a processing center developed. Castle Garden opened in 1855 as the New York State Immigration Station. Crowds of immigrants, as you can see right here, okay, right here. Crowds of immigrants were processed in a newly renovated Castle Garden. Thousands of European immigrants arrived daily at Castle, but it wasn't thousands, it was millions. All right, millions. Okay, millions. What we have to realize is this: slavery did not start in the Americas, period, until the 1700s, like literally the 1730s, when King George II became king. And he was the one who actually named and coined the state of Georgia after him. He created that colony. So he was the one who created the colony of Georgia. And he was the one that literally institutionalized slavery. Before that, everybody were indentured servants. There were no slaves that came from Africa. There were no slaves that came from Europe. And all the 12.5 million tell you that came here, they did not come here until, like I said, the late 1800s and the 1900s, and those were the Slavs. They were European pale-skinned people that came here telling you that they were immigrants. They were not immigrants. They were slaves, and the word slave came from the word Slav, and they're the only slaves or Slavs that came into the Americas. Okay? Before that, it were indentured servants coming from Europe. The majority of them came from Europe. And I would say no more than 1.5 million, no more than that. Okay? And literally no more than 500,000 real Africans came here. And that's facts. Those people were already in Europe and they came here as indentured servants. Okay, as indentured servants. However, when they got here, after their 7-year contract was up, the governments and the institutions reneged on the contract, or what we call the indentured servant terms. And then what they did was they made them prisoners of war. And then they called them slaves, but they were not slaves. They were prisoners of war and not slaves. Now, you could be a prisoner of war and be enslaved, but I'm talking about with the narrative of coming from on slave ship. That never happened. That's a lie. There's no record of that. They can't prove that. And we did not come from Africa. That's facts. Okay. So therefore, once again, if you go on Google, you could look it up. Ellis Island. Okay. Ellis Island, 12.5 million immigrants came in, and look at the name of the ship. It is literally was called the Transatlantic Immigrant something. All right. But that was the only transatlantic slave trade with 12.5 million people, and that were pale-skinned Europeans. You feel what I'm saying? So once again, my brothers and sisters, I know a lot of you are attached to this Africa story. That is because they played on your emotions. They played on your emotions. All right. Over 95%, if not more, of us in the entire Americas, our ancestors were already here. We have no ties to Africa, period. In fact, more of our people went to Africa than Africans came here. And that started happening, I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 10,000 years ago. Places like Nigeria, all these places are not indigenous. The people that live there, they're not indigenous to that place. They moved there. But like I said, people will continue to listen to the lies of his story, okay, and the miseducation of the people. Because why do you think there's no such thing as a White History Month? Why do you think it don't exist? Because you don't have to dig too far to learn the truth. All you have to go is between the 1800s and the 1900s, and that's the entire history of so-called pale people in the Americas. Okay? But of course, they'll tell you, oh well, immigrants, and nah, they wouldn't, and they'll call them indentured servants. But everybody of color, they'll call them a slave. Okay, that is not true. But I dare you to do your own due diligence, do your own research, because there is documented facts of the people who came here from since the 1400s, and there is no record, period, of slaves coming from Africa in such numbers or at all. That's a damn lie. All that stuff was made up. Okay? Trust me. All the pale-skinned people who came here, all the Hebrew Israelites who came here, the Sephardic Jews, the Moors that came here in the 1400s, there are records of them who came here. They have documented records, but they have no records of American Aborigines, so-called black, African, whatever, African Americans coming from Africa on slave ships. That didn't exist. It never happened. Period. And like I said, they got y'all so attached to this African theory and slave trade story, y'all really disgracing and dishonoring your ancestors, thinking they came from Africa on the bottom of slave ships. It's a disgrace. Okay? Yet still you're supposed to honor your mother and fathers and keep wondering why you're in the situation that you're in. African ancestors is for Africans. American ancestors is for Americans. We are the only Americans. We have only inherent spiritual, cultural, archaeological, any type of right to be called Americans. All right? But we were replaced. And that's why everybody else is calling themselves Americans except our people. So we have to reclaim our birthright. It's imperative that we do. It's the only way to make our land mass, our motherland, great again, which is the Americas. Africa is not our motherland. Okay? And once again, that's facts. So all this right here is documented. I dare any court, I dare any court, I dare any Congress, I dare any one of them to prove to me that we came from Africa. Prove it to me. Prove it to me, because I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to humble myself when it comes to that. But you got to prove it to me. Show me the facts. Give me the documents. Because guess what? It doesn't exist, because it never happened. It's a myth. Okay? It's a myth. It's like a Harry Potter that came to life. Okay? It is really that simple. And facts. Y'all better wake the hell up and realize what happened to us. Okay? These people are playing with us, man. We are the only ethnic group in the world whose identity has changed at least 8 times. Okay? We went from American Indians to Negro de Terra. Negro de Terra means the Negroes of the land, meaning that the American land, and then you have Negro de Guinea, which means the Negroes of that land, which is the African land. They classify 2 types of Negroes. Negros de Terra, T-E-R-R-A. Those were the so-called Negroes of the Americas, and the Negros de Guinea were the Negroes of Africa. That's why Giovanni, in his letter to the King of France, Barazona, okay, he described the people as looking like the Ethiopians. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a Native American that looked like an Ethiopian in complexion? Hell to the no. Okay? And that was in the 1500s. Go look up Queen Akanoa from Haiti. In 1474, she was the queen, a melanated sister, heavy melanated sister, dark-skinned, brown-skinned sister. And she was the queen. Her brother was a king. She also married a king, and they were all people of color before 1492. So where did they come from? Explain that slavery from Africa story for me, please. Let it make sense. Because people are not doing their due diligence. People are not reading. They're not studying. They want to stay on the internet and play games, smoke weed all day and drink all day, have a party. Life is a big party while everything you have is being taken away. You feel me? So, truth of the matter is, it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Period. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care what your scholars say. They're all sellouts. They were all paid from the colonization society, which was the Teachers Association in 1969, was also funded by the colonization society. And guess who was a part of the Teachers Association in 1969? Jesse Jackson. Guess who called us again African American in 1988? Jesse Jackson. But the term American Indian was coined in 1969, and it was brought back in 1988 by Jesse Jackson. It is always one of our people. We were the only people that were called American Indians. Go look up the Treaty of 1667 of King Charles II. And I already proved that King Charles was a man of color. And he signed treaties with the Indians, not the Native Americans. Why do you think when Obama, that bastard, had to come in, okay, and he said, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to change American Indian because it's politically incorrect. We're going to use Native Americans. Guess what he just did? He took us further away from our birthright. But our people just don't realize, they don't see, because they're too blind. So you perish for the lack of knowledge. Okay, all those treaties were signed with American Indians and not Native Americans. The Native Americans only came to play in the late 1800s when all those treaties, they were ratified. Okay, and then they opened up a whole new portal for people to come in to be identified as Native Americans, including the $5 Indians. Y'all think this is a game, huh? Y'all, most of y'all, when y'all show American Indians, when American Indians, y'all always show these the old time ones. Y'all always show the dark skinned, chinky eyes looking Mongolian. No, they are natives, but they're not the original American Indians. Okay, a lot of those people they were some of the remnants of the Mongolian invasion that happened in the 1300s. So yes, they are native, but they are not autochthonous, meaning that they did not spring from the ground like we did. We sprung from the ground. We are autochthonous. We are the autochthones of this land. Okay? So when y'all showing these people as your ancestors, once again, you're disrespecting your ancestors. That's what you're doing. If you're not posting American Indians that look like you, then you don't know who the hell you are. How the hell do you think you came from a Mongolian? The mental disease is just so crazy, man. It's crazy. Recessive genes cannot produce dominant genes. It's impossible. It's impossible. But I'm gonna keep hitting y'all with the facts and the truth though. One of these days, y'all gonna wake up and see, well, you know what, Chief knew what he was talking about. But it's okay. Like I said, I'm always ahead of my time. All right? But this is going to be a testament to you, your children, their children, and they'll look back and be like, wow, he was telling the truth all along. Okay? Man, y'all better recognize, man, once again, the game that was played. All right? We became enslaved on paper, not in actuality. Okay? Through paper genocide. And that's further and further and further until the creation of the United States. And then when the birth certificate was created, they created another type of slave, one that exists on paper. You don't realize that, man. But our people were prisoners of war that became enslaved. We did not come as slaves. No, there's only one slave trade that happened in the Americas. It happened in the 1800s. And that were with the Slavs, 20.5 million of them, 12.5 million of them. But they'll tell you, oh, they indentured, oh, they're immigrants. That's the code word. Because they don't want people to know their truth. And this is not about us versus them. This is just me giving you facts. Because slavery and slavery and indentured servantry had nothing to do with color. Every ethnic group in the world have been either slaves, or have been enslaved, or been indentured servant. Okay? Even right now, we are enslaved. So it's like 200 years from now, my great-great-grandchildren, telling you, hey, guess what? You know, we were slaves in 2023. Many of you will think he was lying. But once you have a birth certificate, you're a slave. So we are all enslaved right now because we have birth certificates of the corporations, not just the United States, but all the countries over the world. They are all nation states, and nation states created slaves via the birth certificate. And that's facts over feelings. Y'all could say what y'all want. I don't, like I said, the feelings don't matter to me. I don't do videos for likes. I do videos to give you facts. Okay? There's nothing wrong in having a certificate of live birth or a certificate of birth. Okay? It depends on the terms and conditions and the contract attached to it, because it was just a record. Because before they had it, the government had it. Our ancestors did it in the Bible. That was also a place to document births. You feel me? And that's how it was done until they changed it, and the churches took all that information and gave it to the vital statistics. Guess who was also part of the vital statistics? The Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. Why do you think they have the greatest record of all our history? Ah, okay. The Mormons. Guess what comes before Mormon is two syllables, two compound word, pardon me. Okay, two compound words. You have Mormon. Take away the man, what do you have more? Who came here in 1492? The Moors with the Israelites. Okay, they put those people in place. The gatekeepers. Like I said, y'all gonna learn though. Y'all gonna learn. All right, the original Pilgrims were people of color. The original Quakers were people of color. The original Protestants were people of color. And guess who the Huguenots were? The Huguenots were people of color. Guess who they were? Moors and Sephardic Jews, Hebrew Israelites. Man, like I said, man, I don't think y'all ready for this. A lot of you ain't ready for this because you're so damn brainwashed. It's not even funny. It's not even funny, man. They got y'all real good. Okay? And I'm not mad at you though. I ain't mad at you because you don't know. But you see, when you don't know, it's okay to be ignorant. But when you know and you do the research and you learn the truth and you still choose to be ignorant, then it turns to because you're getting the information, you're getting the fact, but you still want to be black, you still want to be from Africa. And you don't want to restore and regain your birthright as American Indians. And like I said on our Zoom last night, American Indian, yes, it is a misnomer. I agree. Okay, because when these people came here in 1492, we did not call ourselves American Indians. I get that. But it was a general consensus that was agreed upon to call the people of this entire landmass Indians, Amerindians, American Indians. Okay, so therefore it's coded within law. You feel me? So that's our birthright. Okay? And American Indians and Moors are not the same people. American Indians and Israelites are not the same people. Don't get it confused. We are not the same people. These people are not from here. They were the ones that came here and stole everything from us and killed our ancestors. They did that. Okay? And that's facts. Because all over the world, particularly Europe, they were being banished. So a lot of them, millions of them moved into France, and they created a whole new identity called the Huguenots. George Washington was a Huguenot, a man of color, a brown-skinned man of color. What's your name? Abraham Lincoln was a man of color. In his own biography, he said it, gave his description and everything. King Charles, man of color. They all work together. They are all related by blood or marriage. Okay? It was two different kingdoms that joined together that came here to fight us after their children overruled and defeated them and enslaved a lot of them and deported them. They say, okay, you know what? We're going to work with you. Let us go into this new world and let's make everything new because it's actually old. All right? So they came here together. So all the French trappers, the Huguenots, guess what? They are people of color. The Melungians, guess who they are? They are the Moors as well. Okay, y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. Don't let nobody trick you into making you think that your American Indians and Moors are the same people. No. The only way they're the same people is they became us. In other words, they started taking our place. Because when these people came here, we saw brothers that looked like us, so we opened up our arms. Okay? So like I said, y'all could get emotional if y'all want. Y'all could get upset with you if you want. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just telling the truth. And only the truth will set us free. Only the truth, nothing else, but the truth will set us free. Period. It is really that simple. The illusion that we live in, we have to wake up and see that it's an illusion. The world is a lie. There's a difference between the earth and the world. There are creators, as in plural, of the earth, but there is a creator of the world. And that's what people are serving today. People don't know they're serving Satan. It's right there in your damn Bible. But like I said, I gave y'all the book. The ancestors gave me the gift, gave me the visions, gave me everything. And I put it in the book. So it's also in the link. Okay? Y'all make sure y'all go to Amazon and get that book in every household. Teach your children, teach your people the truth. Because only that truth is going to set us free. Not your illusions, not your beliefs, not your faith, none of that. But the truth will set you free. Period. Point blank. And that's how I'm able to speak with conviction, because I know I'm speaking the truth. All right? So I wanted to come down here, like I said, because I promised you guys that I was going to come down here and do this video. And here it is. So go look it up. Ellis Island, 12.5 million. Okay? 12.5 million. The opening of Ellis Island. Okay? 12.5 million from the 1800s to the 1900s. Slavs came here, aka slaves. Go look at it. The Ellis Island transatlantic trade. Go look at it. It is the only thing that was coined, Atlantic trade. There was no such thing as Atlantic slave trade in regards to so-called black people. Now, slave means Slav. Go look it up. And they were pale-skinned people. Even the Slavs were being enslaved by the Berbers, the barbarian slave trades. Okay? Enslaving these Caucasian people, taking their women as concubines, and enslaving the men, selling the women. They were the most prized slaves because of their complexion, and they called them the most beautiful. So they cost a whole lot. Okay? Go study their history, man. And it's the only way the world is going to come together and realize that we all have been lied to, we all have been bamboozled, we all have been misled, and respect each other for who we are. But we, the autochthonous American people, American Indians, need to rise. We are the only true Americans. An American is a race of people. And we are the only ones that have that inherent right to be called Americans. Nobody else. They are all either United States citizens or plain out immigrants. It's time to reclaim our birthright. I keep telling y'all, I was sent for this. You're going to learn who I am. Trust me. Y'all going to learn. This is just the beginning. I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. All right? All right, so like I said, no Africans came here as slaves. That's facts. Okay? No dark-skinned Europeans came here as slaves. Not even the East Indians that were sent to Trinidad, Guyana, all these different places, and now they're called the Dogla people. Okay? Not even them came as slaves. They came as indentured servants. It was all contracts. Their people knew exactly where they were going and under what conditions and what terms. In terms of the indentured servantry, it was for 7 years. It's in the damn Bible. Go read it. Y'all think the Bible is about a sky daddy, huh? Until y'all got something coming. Y'all got something else coming to y'all. Go read the book. And I gotta warn you, don't read the book if you can't handle the truth. Don't read the book if you're not ready for a cultural, historical, and spiritual shock and awakening. because spiritual trauma is a thing, and this book will traumatize you if you are not ready for the truth. So before you read my book, please ask for some guidance by the righteous gods of the universe. That's how serious it is, because I'm challenging some serious things in that book, and I'm giving you some serious information. All right? So, with that being said, from the 1400s all the way up until the early 1600s, the people that were being enslaved, and I'm saying enslaved, not slaves, but enslaved, as in were not slaves, all right? But they were indigenous people of the Americas, and they were being taken to Europe. Some of them were even being taken to Africa and Asia to teach, because we had skills. We had skills in cotton, okay? Because guess who gave Africa cotton? Guess who gave Africa clothing in cotton? We did, South Americans. Guess who gave Africa the tire, as in the tire of a car? South Americans. Guess who gave Africa the wheel, as in the wheel, as in chariots? It started with the chariots. Guess where it came from? South America. Guess who gave Africa the first pyramid? The pyramid of Khufu, that was a gift to Khufu. South Americans. And then it was taken into the rest of the world. Y'all better stop playing, man. Okay? So yes, we share deep history with Africans. Yes, we do, because we have been giving them our civilizations, and a lot of them also came here again. You know, I'm talking about way before 1400s. Mixed in with people, I'm talking about 5, 10, 15, 20,000 years ago. And that's well documented. Okay? They used to call us the red gods. And hence, that's where that term red man came in. That didn't come from no pales. That did not come from 1492. No, we were called the red people way before that, the red gods, because of our copper tone complexion. The red gods that came from the water, because we came through the canoes and we went into Africa. Okay. Wow. Oh, no doubt. I've been saying it for years, man. Okay? So once again, no disrespect to any Israelite, Hebrew, Moors. No, this is not to disrespect you. This is just to set the record straight. We are not you, and you are not us. We are not the same people. In fact, we are two complete different bloodlines. All right? Two complete different bloodlines. We are not the same people. Period. Okay? So y'all better recognize that. And I'm only, like I said, I'm only here to deal with righteous people, not the unrighteous bloodlines. I ain't got time for that. I don't care what the color of your skin is. As long as you're righteous, we could sit at the table and we could break bread. All right? But y'all got to learn true history, the lies that are being told. You feel me? And that's why there's no, again, I'm going to repeat that. There's a reason why there's no so-called White History Month, because they were the first slaves. But they will not tell you that. They always look at you like, you know. Okay, we are not beneath anybody. We are the only true sovereigns on this land. And it's about time that we wake the hell up. Come together, unite, commune, and become a unit, hence create a community. And take back our birthright. And leave all this damn Israelite and more stuff alone. This is not us. All right? So with that being said, I love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your continuation. Enjoy the rest of your 24. And we'll talk a little later, man. I'm going to continue to drop this truth. Don't forget to check the link in the description. Go get your copy of the book right now. Like I said, this book needs to be in every home. Put it in front of your children and let them learn who they are. It is time to restore this birthright. One love.